For member statements today, we will hear statements from the honourable members for the districts of Baie, Green Bay, Windsor Lake, Virginia Waters, Pleasantville, Fogo Islands, Cape Freels, Fortune Bay, Cape Hune, and Placentia, West-Bellevue. The Honourable, the member for Baie, Green Bay.
Mr. Speaker, to live and work in rural Newfoundland and Labrador and help promote its arts and tourism potential has been a satisfying venture for partners Linda Yates and David Haishieta, co-owners of Kings Point Pottery. Involved with many tourism initiatives in the area, David was recognized as this year's winner of the Tourism Ambassador of the Year. Both Linda and Dave have given selflessly of their time and energy to champion the interests of this industry. Artists and entrepreneurs working together to develop the tourism industry in their own hometown and are infusing the industry with new ideas and opportunities. Mr. Speaker, Kings Point Pottery celebrated its 25th anniversary this year. It has been a shining light in the scenic and beautiful seaside community of Kings Point since its inception. In 2013, it was named Top Craft Shop in Atlantic Canada and was also tagged as a top shopping destination in the province on TripAdvisor for the past 3 years. Kings Point Pottery sells and promotes works of 365 different artists, most of them craftspeople from Newfoundland and Labrador. Mr. Speaker, I welcome my honourable colleagues to join me in congratulating David Haishieta, Newfoundland and Labrador Tourism Ambassador of the Year. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Hear, hear. The Honourable, the member for the District of Windsor Lake.
This Sunday, thousands of families will gather for the St. John's Downtown Christmas Parade. And for one of the parade's longest-serving volunteers, so begins another marathon Christmas season of 60 Santa visits, culminating on Christmas Eve at the Janeway. I'm so proud to recognize Mr. Bruce Templeton. Recognized with numerous awards for his community work, including the Red Cross Humanitarian of the Year Award, the Newfoundland and Labrador Volunteer of the Year Award, as well as induction into the International Santa Claus Hall of Fame. Bruce's passion for children is inspiring. The sale of his books featuring beautifully moving stories about his adventures as Santa's helper has provided Dr. Bruce Aylward of the World Health Organization funding for polio vaccines for over 300,000 children. Wow. At next April's International Conference of Santa Claus in Denver, Bruce will share those special Santa moments with a global audience. On behalf of the children and families from our province and around the world, join me in thanking Mr. Bruce Templeton for 4 decades of work with Santa. And let's take heed of Bruce's advice. Stop and make memories for your children. Go sliding, make hot chocolate, for in the end it is your presence, not the presents, that count.
Hear, hear.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable, the member for Virginia Waters, Pleasantville.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in this honourable House to honour Baie Elementary Garden Club. The Garden Club was started in 2016, and despite the poor initial growing season, the Garden Club was still able to donate potatoes from their grow season to the Single Parents Association. The Garden Club boasts about 30 members who love to eat what they grow. Under the direction of Mr. Jeff Schinkel, and the Garden Club has recently, with the help of their families and community, have erected hoop houses that have made it possible to grow more vegetables. Previously, due to summer vacation, the children were not able to witness the fruits of their labour. But thanks to the hoop houses, they are able to grow later than ever before. The radishes that were planted in the first hoop house survived every frost we've had so far and should be ready to be harvested in just a few weeks. The Garden Club hopes to have an even more successful 2018 and donate the fruits and vegetables to the Vanier Breakfast Program or families who could benefit from fresh produce. Thank you to Mr. Schinkel and the Vanier Garden Club for helping grow our community. Thank you.
The honourable member for the district of Fogo Island, Cape Freels.
Mr. Speaker, imagine hearing the news that you needed art transplant to live. Now imagine needing 3 art transplants before grade 6. Terry Gale was born in 1989 with a defective heart and soon to spend more time in hospitals than his own bed. Most were spent at the Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto. In 1996, Terry underwent 2 art transplants. In 2003, Terry underwent another transplant. All during this time, Terry's mom and dad made his life as normal as possible. In recent years, Terry became an active member of the New West Valley Volunteer Fire Department and currently sits on the Town Council while working full-time with Isles Ambulance. But Terry, being one of the most eligible bachelors I know, got married this past summer. And together with his wife, we're delighted to introduce baby Sebastian into this world. Terry Gale stands as the best reason I know to sign your organ donor card. Without the consideration of others, Terry's story may have never been written. I chatted with Terry before writing this, and you should have seen his big smile. Please join me in celebrating Terry's life and story. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The honourable member for the district of Fortune Bay, Cape Hune.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in this honourable House to congratulate the organisers, volunteers and residents for the success of the 4th annual Strides Kitchen Party in support of Daffodil Place that took place at the St. Jack's Coombs Cove Community Centre in October, which I was delighted to attend. Committee members Lorraine Brambury, Jane Williams, Rhonda Bungie and Jean Shepherd are committed volunteers who give wholeheartedly of themselves to help others in the community. In partnership with Penny Party and the Canadian Cancer Society, the Kitchen Party features local entertainment and delicious food, guest speakers, and over 180 donated prizes, raffles, and gift baskets. This lively and inspirational event provides support for people with cancer who must travel to St. John's for treatments. The Kitchen Party has raised over $50,000 in support of Daffodil Place. As of September 2017, 1,412 nights for cancer patients from the Coast of Bays region were provided by Daffodil Place with an approximate cost of over $250,000. I ask all members of this honourable House to join me in congratulating the fundraising committee and all those who contribute to ensure we help ease the financial and emotional burden of a cancer diagnosis and continue to make huge strides in the fight against cancer, steps towards research, education, detection and awareness, eradication and support. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The honourable member for the district of Placentia, West-Bellevue.
Mr. Speaker, adversity and challenge presents itself in different forms, often beyond anyone's control. To some, it is overwhelming, but for others, with a positive attitude, it can be overcome. Such is the case with Ethan Hunt. This 17-year-old from Marystown has consistently rolled up his sleeves and stared down adversity head-on despite a life full of challenges. Just this February, Ethan underwent heart surgery. In April, he had reconstructive knee surgery, and none of this has held him back, and Mr. Speaker, it's not about to start now. He is an avid volunteer for Children's Wish. Each year he organizes the Ethan Hunt Project in support of the Janeway. And in the new year, he will embark upon a new mission to support the Ronald McDonald House. He is active in Special Olympics, a decorated Sea Cadet in RCSCC 121 Mary Rose, and dutifully serves as an altar server at his church. In fact, just this past weekend, he was named the newest mascot for the Marystown Mariners. Perhaps, Mr. Speaker, we may have a future MHA in our very midst. Mr. Speaker, Ethan, with his ever-supportive parents, Rick and Laurie, has become a shining example of positivity and giving back, determined to overcome whatever life throws at him and being all the better for it. Keep smiling, Ethan. Thanks for being you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.